Hi guys, how are you all? I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to the part 2 of fifth chapter of Polity by Lakshmikant, Union and its Territory chapter. If you have not watched the part 1, please go and watch the part 1 and then come back to part 2. And people who have watched part 1, welcome back to part 2. As I already mentioned that the chapter is lengthy, so we will be covering it in two parts. So whenever we keep the length of video short, na guys, it becomes easy for you to catch up on it. Okay, so that's why I have whenever the chapter is lengthy, I make sure that I make it in small parts so that it is easy for you to learn. Okay, now we are already done with part 1. If you are liking these handwritten notes videos, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. It will mean a lot to me because you all know that handwritten notes take a lot of effort and time. So, but I like doing it because I know it helps lot many people, and now many people do not know how to make notes, so it will be helpful to them as well. So that is the reason. So now moving on, we had done till page number 6. Now we are starting with page number 7, Dhar Commission and JVP Commission. Okay, there has been demand in the earlier topic. We saw how the constitution had divided all the state and territories into four parts, that is part A, part B, part C, and part D. Okay, and how were the divisions done, you can see in the previous video. I'll just show you over here. um, See, we had seen this part A, part B, part C, and part D, how it was done, and we saw how evolution of state and union territories was done in the part 1. Now, moving on to Dhar and JVP Commission. There has been demand for reorganization of state on linguistic basis. Linguistic basis means on the basis of language. Okay, so there has been demand for reorganization, means to organize state um, on the basis of language after independence. Okay, these were the demands made in June 1948. Okay, see, this is happening after independence. GOI is Government of India appointed Linguistic Provinces Commission under SK Dhar. Okay, so to escalate all these issues that were happening because of the demand of reorganization of state on linguistic, that means on the basis of language. So what Government of India did, it appointed a commission under the leadership of SK Dhar. Okay, the commission submitted its report in December 1948 and recommended the commission submitted its report in December 1948 and recommended reorganization on the basis of administrative convenience. Okay, so the government had appointed SK Dhar commission to consider whether the reorganization can happen on the linguistic basis as it was demanded by people. But what happened was, the this commission submitted report, and what conclusion this commission gave was, reorganization should be done on the basis of administrative convenience. Convenience means एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन चलाने में, मतलब वहाँ की डे टू डे एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एक्टिविटीज़ चलाने में इजी हो, इस वे में रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन करना चाहिए, ना कि ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ लैंग्वेज. ओके, दिस वाज द रिपोर्ट ऑफ एस्केदर कमीशन. Now, this led to resentment. Okay, now people were already demanding a reorganization on the basis, but ये commission क्या report दे रही है कि रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव कन्वीनियंस के हिसाब से होना चाहिए, है ना. मतलब डे टू डे जो आपकी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एक्टिविटीज़ है, उसमें आपको किस किस चीज़ में आसानी पड़ती है, उस हिसाब से रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन होना चाहिए, ना कि लैंग्वेज के हिसाब से। तो दिस लेड टू रिसेंटमेंट, तो लोगों में गुस्सा आ गया, डिस्कम्फर्ट आ गया। रिसेंटमेंट मीन्स डिस्कम्फर्ट, ओके। देयरफॉर लिंग्विस्टिक प्रोविंसेस कमिटी बाय कांग्रेस इन दिसंबर 1948 वाज अपॉइंटेड। ठीक है, तो बिकॉज ऑफ द रिसेंटमेंट वापस से व्हाट डिड कांग्रेस डू इन 1948? इट अपॉइंटेड अ लिंग्विस्टिक प्रोविंसेस कमिटी. It consists of J.L. Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel, and Pattabhai Sitaramaiah. Okay, that is why it is called J is Jawaharlal Nehru, V is Vallabhbhai Patel, and P is Pattabhai Sitaramaiah. So that is why it is called JVP Commission. Okay, it was appointed by Congress. Okay, because of the resentment going on. Popularly known as JVP Committee. It was popularly known as JVP Committee. It submitted the report in April 1949, rejected language as the basis for reorganization of state. So what happened again is JVP Committee also rejected language on the language as the basis of reorganization of state. Okay, they also didn't find it a fruitful thing. So JVP Commission as well as Dhar Commission rejected the reorganization of state on the basis of language. However, due to prolonged agitation of Potti Sri Ramulu in October 1953, Government of India was forced to create first linguistic state known as Andhra state by separating Telugu speaking people from Madras state. ठीक है. Now, if you read in book, the whole story is given कि कैसे पोट्टी श्री रामलू नाम के एक वी कैन से फ्रीडम फाइटर थे और एक पर्सन थे. ही एजिटेटेड एंड ही डिड फास्ट टिल डेथ एंड ही डाइड ऑल्सो. And due to his agitation in October 1953, finally क्या हुआ? Government of India came under pressure and it was forced to create first linguistic state. जबकि धर commission और JVP commission both had rejected, but it was forced to create the first linguistic state known as Andhra state by separating Telugu speaking people from Madras state. Okay, so Andhra state was created by separating Telugu speaking people from Madras state. Now, Fazal Ali Commission. Okay. Due to creation of Andhra state, the demand of creation of state on the linguistic basis intensified. Obviously, this is obvious human phenomena कि if मतलब to show that you are fair, if government is doing something to one state, obviously all state will come and stand in front कि आपने इस state के लिए ये किया है, so now we are also wanting the same thing. Okay, so the demand for creation of state on the linguistic basis intensified. Therefore, Government of India appointed in December 1953 a three-member state reorganization commission under Fazal Ali. Other two members were K.M. Pannikar, H.N. Kunzuru, submitted the report in 1955. So, इनिशियली धर कमीशन एंड जेवीपी कमीशन था, उसके बाद डिमांड इंटेंसिफाइड फर्दर. दैट्स वाई फजल अली कमीशन इस्टेब्लिश हुआ एंड फजल अली कमीशन हैड टू मेंबर्स, दैट इज के एम पन्नेकर एंड एच एन कुंजरू. Now, what happened? It submitted report, and what was the report? It accepted language as the basis of reorganization of state, but rejected the theory of one language and one state. This is one, okay? I'm sorry, it got cropped over here, but this is one state, okay? So, Fazil Ali Commission ने क्या report दी? Fazil Ali Commission accepted the reorganization of state on the basis of language, but rejected the theory of one language and one state. Okay, so what does this mean is कि वन लैंग्वेज वन स्टेट अगर वो एक्सेप्ट कर लेते तो नाउ इंडिया वुड बी हैविंग, इंडिया लैंग्वेज के हिसाब से डिवाइडेड होता है ना. फॉर एग्जाम्पल महाराष्ट्र इज हैविंग मराठी स्पीकिंग पीपल ऑल्सो, गुजराती स्पीकिंग पीपल ऑल्सो, हिंदी स्पीकिंग पीपल ऑल्सो, है ना. And Gujarat is having majority of Gujarati speaking people, but it might also be having uh, people who speak other languages. Okay, so अगर ये so it rejected कि one language one state can have more than one language. Okay, so one language one state theory was rejected, but accepted reorganization on the basis of language. Okay, factors that can be taken into account in any scheme of reorganization of state. Okay, so the factors that were taken into account in any scheme of reorganization of state, if the state is being reorganized, these factors should be taken into account. Okay, now what are the factors that should be taken into account while you are reorganizing a state? The first factor is preservation and strengthening of unity and security of the country. This is the very important factor, that it's okay that for administrative convenience or for whatever xyz reason you are reorganizing the state, but it should not compromise on unity and security of India, है ना? If unity and security of India or our country is compromised, then this reorganization is of no importance or um, no positive side. Okay, now second, linguistic and cultural homogeneity. Okay, linguistic means language and cultural homogeneity should be maintained in the reorganization, that should not be disturbed. Okay, financial, economic and administrative consideration. Okay, financial, economic and administrative should be consideration should be made while reorganizing the state. And the last point is planning and promotion of welfare of people in each state as well as nation as a whole. And the last point is planning and planning, promotion and welfare of state should be taken under consideration. Okay, so these are all the four factors that should be considered or taken into account while reorganizing a state. Okay, so we are done with Fazil Ali Commission. Now moving on to next page. Now the commission suggested abolition of fourfold classification of state. Government of India accepted this modification by State Reorganization Act 1956 and 7th Constitutional Amendment Act 1956. The distinction between Part A, B, C, D was abolished. As a result, 14 state and 6 union territories were created on November 1, 1956. Okay. Now, what happened? Fazil Ali Commission also suggested abolition of classification of state. That was done in, we have seen it in part 1. Sorry, we have seen it in part 1. See, this part A, B, C, and D classification was done. So, what is Fazil Ali Commission doing? Fazil Ali Commission also suggested this abolition of fourfold classification of state. Okay, Government of India accepted this modification by State Reorganization Act 1956 and 7th CAA's Constitutional Amendment Act 1956. This distinction was abolished. As a result, 14 state and 6 union territories were created on November 1, 1956. So this is obvious that earlier it was all the state and territories were divided into this part. When this part got abolished, those territories were divided into states. So initially there were 14 states and 6 union territories, and as this abolition happened on November 1, 1946, 14 states and 6 union territories were created. Okay, now how reorganization is happening, I have in your book entire paragraph is given, but here I have divided it in small points. Okay, now Travancore and Cochin state, Travancore, Cochin State, plus Malabar District of Madras, plus Kasargod of South Canara, all these three areas, they came together and formed Kerala. Okay, so reorganization is happening over here. Don't get confused, it is very easy. Travancore, Cochin State plus Malabar District of Madras, these were different areas altogether earlier. But after November 1, 1956, these all came together and formed a one state of Kerala. Okay, Hyderabad joined Andhra, and uh, gave rise to Andhra Pradesh. Madhya Bharat, Vindhya Bharat, and Bhopal came together and formed Madhya Pradesh. Okay, Saurashtra and Kutch came together and formed Bombay state. Okay, Coorg state plus Coorg state and Mysore state got separated. Okay, Patiala and East Punjab, that which was also called Pepsu, came together and formed Punjab state. Okay, Ajmer state and Rajasthan state was formed. Now, then Union Territory, new Union Territory, UT is Union Territory of Lakshadweep, Minidiv Island formed the territory detached from Madras state. Okay, these territories, Lakshadweep, Minicoy, and Aminidiv Island, they were detached from Madras state and formed a Union Territory. Okay, so this is how the reorganization took place. Now new states and union territories created after 1956. Okay, now we have seen that here that 14 state and 6 union territories were created on November 1956. But what happened after 1956? Okay, so the first, Maharashtra and Gujarat. In 1960, Bombay got bifurcated. Bombay, as we have seen in the earlier page, see here. See, Bombay state was formed here. Now, what is happening in 1960? Bombay state is getting bifurcated into Maharashtra and Gujarat. Maharashtra having Marathi speaking people and Gujarat having Gujarati speaking people. Okay, so Gujarat was 15th state. Second is Dadar and Nagar Haveli was ruled by Portuguese till 1954, and till 1961, after 1954 and till 1961 it was ruled by the local rulers, and it was converted into union territory by 10th CAA is Constitutional Amendment Act 1961. Okay, so after 10th Constitutional Amendment Act 1961, Dadar and Nagar Haveli was converted into UT, that is Union Territory. Okay, Goa, Daman and Diu. So acquired by India, Goa was acquired by India from Portuguese by police action in 1961. Okay, sorry, Goa, Daman and Diu, all three were acquired by India from from Portuguese by police action in 1961, and the state of union territory was given to all this by 12th Constitutional Amendment Act 1962. Okay, Goa, Daman and Diu got the status of union territory by 12th CA's Constitutional Amendment Act 1962. Okay, now next, what is happening in 1987? Goa got statehood. Okay, here it is getting the status of UT, that is Union Territory, and what is happening in 1987? Goa is getting statehood. Okay, Daman and Diu were made different union territories. Okay, Daman and Diu were made different territories after Goa got statehood. Now, Puducherry consisted of French establishment known as Puducherry, Karikal, Mahe, and Yanam. French handed over Puducherry to India in 1954, and it was made union territory by 14th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, Puducherry was made UT, that is Union Territory, by 14th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, so in this page only Gujarat and Maharashtra got statehood. Baki all are getting state of the status of Union Territory. Now we'll see what is happening with Nagaland. Nagaland was formed in 1963 by taking Naga Hills and uh, Tunsang area of Assam. Tunsang area out of Assam. Okay, so these two areas were taken out of Assam, and new state of Nagaland was formed, and it was the 16th state. So Nagaland, Gujarat is the 15th state, and Nagaland got the status of 16th state. Okay, now next page. Haryana, Chandigarh, and Himachal Pradesh. In 1960 and 1966, Punjab state got bifurcated into Haryana, that is 17th state, and Chandigarh was made a union territory. Okay, it was done on the recommendation of Shah Commission in 1966. Punjabi speaking people constituted of Punjab, and Hindi speaking people constituted of Haryana, and the hilly area were merged, adjoining the union territory, that is Himachal Pradesh. Okay, so hilly area around Punjab were merged, and Himachal Pradesh was formed, and it was a union territory. In 1971, Himachal Pradesh got status of the state, that is 18th state. Okay, initially Himachal Pradesh was made union territory, and then in 1971 Himachal Pradesh got the status of statehood, that is 18th state. Okay, now next, Manipur, Tripura, Meghalaya. In 1972, NE is Northeast underwent major changes. Union territory of Manipur and Tripura and substate of Meghalaya got statehood. Okay, Northeast went major changes. Union territory of Manipur and Tripura. Manipur and Tripura were union territory, and Meghalaya was a sub-state, and all these got statehood. Okay, two union territories, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh, came into being. Okay, so after this major in this major reorganization, two union these all were the states, Manipur, Tripura, and Meghalaya, and two union territories came into existence. These two union territories were Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, originally Arunachal Pradesh was originally known as Northeast Frontier Agency. Okay, Meghalaya was created as a substate with Assam within Assam by 22nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1969. Okay, so Meghalaya was not given a entire statehood, but it was created as a substate under Assam by 22nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1969 with its own legislature and council of minister. It was a substate, but it had its own legislature, that is lawmaking process, and council of minister. The union territory of Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh were also found of territories of Assam. As we have seen, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh were formed into union territories out of the territory of Assam. Okay, now moving on to next, Sikkim. Just a second. Okay, so after what happened, the Union Territory of Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh were formed, and later on, now Mizoram is getting formed. Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, and Goa. Okay, before this, we are going to see Sikkim. It was Indian. Now, just remember that, sorry, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh are union territories over here. Okay, now moving on to Sikkim. It was Indian princely state ruled by Chogyal. Okay, Sikkim was the Indian princely state that was ruled by Chogyal. In 1947, after lapse of British paramountcy, that means after British rule lapsed or stopped, Sikkim became the protectorate state, and Indian government resumed the responsibility of, after what happened after lapse of British paramountcy, what happened, Sikkim become the protectorate state of India. Now what do you mean by protectorate state is, India is going to protect Sikkim. Okay, and how India is going to protect the Sikkim, it is written over here, Indian government resumed the responsibility of, India is going to protect Sikkim in defense, external affairs, and communication. Okay, so in all these things, Sikkim became the protectorate state of India. Okay. In 1974, Sikkim expressed its desire for greater association with India. Okay, but initially, Sikkim was only a protectorate state. But what happened in 1974? That Sikkim expressed that it wanted to extend its association with India. Okay, accordingly, 35th Constitutional CAA's Constitutional Amendment Act was enacted. It gave and introduced a new class of statehood, that is associate statehood. Now, if we are if the association is being extended, it should have certain provision in the constitution, है ना? But we did not have a the provision under constitution, so what we did under 35th constitutional amendment act, we introduced a new concept of associate state, and then Sikkim was made the associate state. Okay. For this purpose, new Article 2A was introduced and new schedule 10th schedule was inserted in the constitution. Okay. For the purpose of Sikkim, new Article 2A and new 10th schedule was introduced in the constitution. This experiment could not fully satisfy the aspiration of people of Sikkim. Okay. Still, the people of Sikkim were not satisfied because uh, the status of associate state was given to Sikkim. Okay, in referendum held in 1975, they abolished the institution of Chogyal. 36 Constitutional Amendment 1975 was enacted to make Sikkim a full-fledged state, that is 22nd states. Okay, so what happened was people of Sikkim were not happy with the rule of Chogyal, so they held the referendum, and in that referendum they voted out Chogyal, and therefore India had to make Sikkim a full-fledged state, and it was done under 36 Constitutional Amendment Act 1975. Okay, 35th Constitutional Amendment Act is giving it status of associate statehood, and 36th Constitutional Amendment is making Sikkim a full state. Okay, this amendment this amendment amended the first and fourth schedule and added new Article 371F to provide for certain provision for administration of Sikkim. So what this amendment did, it added it amended the first and fourth schedule and added new Article 361F. And why this article was added? To give special provisions to Sikkim for its progress and other administrative purposes. Article 2A and 10 schedule that were added by 35th Constitutional Amendment Act were repealed. Obviously, when 35th Constitutional Amendment Act and associate statehood itself is repealed, so this all the article and schedule will be repealed. Okay, so this happened with Sikkim. Now, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, and Goa. Sorry, in 1983, three new states were formed: Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, and Goa. So, Mizoram was 23rd state, Arunachal Pradesh was 24th state, and Goa was 24th state. Okay, by memorandum of settlement, Mizoram Peace Accord 1986 between central government and Mizo National Front, 2-decade-old insurgency was ended and Mizoram was given statehood. Okay, so by the Mizo Peace Accord between central government and Mizo National Front, Mizoram was given statehood. Okay, Arunachal had also been a union territory from 1972. We had already seen the state of and so Arunachal was given uh, statehood. Then the state of Goa was created by separating Goa union territory from Daman and Diu. Okay, sorry, Goa, Daman, and Diu were separated, and the new state of Goa was created. Okay, now Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, and Jharkhand. First is in 2000, first state Chhattisgarh, second Uttarakhand, and third Jharkhand was created out of territories of Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Bihar, respectively. Okay, so territories out of these three states were carved out, and these three new states were created. They became 26th, 27th, and 28th state of Indian Union. Okay. Now Telangana. In 2014, a new state was created, that is 29th state. Up till 28 we are doing here. 29 state carved out of territories of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, a territory was carved out of Andhra Pradesh, and 29 state was created. Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act 2014 bifurcated Andhra Pradesh into two separate states, namely Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Okay, bifurcation happened over here in 2014. Okay, now Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh, the recent settlement that happened in last year, we have all have seen. Till 2019, Jammu Kashmir has had its own constitution and enjoyed special status by the virtue of Article 370. Okay, so under Article 370, Jammu Kashmir had its own constitution and it had a special status in Constitution of India. Okay, in 2019, special status was abolished by presidential order known as the Constitution Application to Jammu Kashmir Order 2019. Okay, so under this order, which is called presidential order, the special status of Jammu and Kashmir was abolished or removed. Okay, this order superseded earlier order of 1954. The earlier order also had a similar name, the Constitutional Application to Jammu and Kashmir Order. Only the year is 1954. So the earlier order was superseded and this order was applied. This order extended all the provision of Constitution of India to Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so as the special status was abolished, this order extended all the provision that the entire India had to Jammu and Kashmir also. Okay, earlier the provision of Constitution of India were not applicable to Jammu and Kashmir as Jammu and Kashmir had its different constitution. Okay, however, inoperative Article 370 still remains in the Constitution. However, as Article 370 has been abolished, but we cannot delete things from the original constitution. It is still there in the constitution, but it is inoperative now. Further, Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019 bifurcated Jammu and Kashmir state into two separate union territories. Okay, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Okay, earlier Jammu and Kashmir was a state. Now this state was bifurcated into two separate territories. Now Jammu and Kashmir, J&K's Jammu and Kashmir is given a status of union territories, and Ladakh is also given a status of union territories. Jammu and Kashmir comprises of all the district of erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir except Kargil and Leh district. Okay. Now the union territory of Jammu and Kashmir has all the district of erstwhile means earlier state of Jammu and Kashmir except Kargil and Leh district. Okay. Now Kargil and Leh district have gone under the union territory of Ladakh. Okay. So what is happening? This is the last reorganization that took place last year, that is in 2019. And earlier in 1956, India had 14 states and 6 union territories, and now it has come down to 28 states and 9 union territories in 2019. And the last page is change in name, how the name of the states or union territories have been changed. So United Province is called Uttar Pradesh. The name was changed to Uttar Pradesh in 1950. Then Madras to Tamil Nadu, Mysore to Karnataka, Lakshadweep, Miniroy and Aminidev to Lakshadweep, Union Territory of Delhi to National Capital Territory, Uttaranchal to Uttarakhand, Pondicherry to Puducherry, and Orissa to Odisha in 2011. So, guys, we are done with the fifth chapter. We have ended the part 2 also. I hope you understood all the concept. and you liked the video. If you are liking this series, please, as I told you earlier, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and keep sharing this video so that people who are new in this preparation and people who do not know how to make notes, it will help them. And see you in the next chapter. Bye bye. Thank you. Take care.